What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are here.
Yes, we are.
Welcome back to the podcast you all know and love by the name of what, Mink? Really, bitch? Okay. Don't do that face. Don't make that face. Don't do that. Face, don't make that face. How's everybody doing? What's going on, you guys? I know that yesterday was the short one. It was the short one's birthday yesterday, Mink? Or the tall ones?
No, that was my number.
That was number two. It was number two's birthday.
Yeah,
Listen, I knew it was one of the Sharon's birthday. How'd it go? It was a beautiful day yesterday for whatever you decided to do.
Yeah, it was great. We took them, I guess, whatever that I guess the black version of Dave and Buster's is. They got at the Bowie Town Center now.
What are you talking about? Where?
At the Bowie Town Center?
Yeah, I think where the food court used to be, there's now an entertainment complex now.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. I didn't know they had gotten rid of the food court. I mean, I don't eat in there. Maybe that's why they got rid of it, because maybe I ain't the only one. I noticed they have more and more restaurants popping up outside, you know. Yeah. Like we have a Five Guys there now, and they just opened up another sandwich shop. So I noticed they have more and more food places that are, you know. Yeah. Right. I didn't realize that the food court was gone, though. Wow.
Like the inside food court space, yeah, it's now like an entertainment.
I did not know that.
Center. So she went. She put on her Harley Quinn outfit.
Okay.
Rode up there. She, bowled with her friends. Then
they got a bowling alley.
It's like a duck pen bowling.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I was about to say, I don't remember being that daggone big, but I guess it was big enough once you add in the sitting area and stuff like that. If you could reconfigure the seating. I mean, I guess I could have put one or two lanes in there. Okay, yeah.
That she, had the atypical pizza party. They played games for a little bit, and then her and all her friends came back here. For the evening and sleepover. You know how that go.
Well, that Five Guys has been there at least 15, 16 years.
Okay.
Sorry about that. No, sorry about that. I had to talk real quick. Yeah.
That Five Guys has been there about 15, 16 years. And the food court,
15 years?
I ate there when I was pregnant with the short one. That's how I remember that. The Five Guys.
No.
Yes.
Hey, little baby, can I send you my laundry? Because I got a little something to do.
I got laundry to do too. Shoot.
I'm saying, since you already over there in the groove, I'm just trying.
This is a group effort. I got some things I can throw in there. Make it a full.
You mean the Five Guys at the mall?
At Bowie Town Center.
That's been there for 15 years?
Almost 16. I ate there when I was 16 years. I was pregnant with the short one. I ate there.
Okay, well, my bad. I thought that was new. I'm tripping.
I used to leave my doctors and go across the street to the.
Why did I never notice it before?
Wait, you should leave the doctor's office, go get some grease.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. Okay, well, I mean, clearly you ate there, so I can't tell you wrong. But I really don't remember it being there.
Like I used to tell the doctor, the baby was hungry.
You know what? I think that's every pregnant woman's line. Everything becomes they blame it on the baby. Everything. And I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad about it. I'm just saying everything becomes the baby.
In all honesty, for me, I can't speak, but for me, it was like no matter what I ate, no matter when I ate, no matter how much I ate, it's almost like the whole thing, like you eat Chinese food when you burp and 10 minutes later you're hungry.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt, especially towards that last trimester. I was just like, okay, what else is there? But anywho.
Listen.
Okay, I can say what was great about Danny being pregnant is that she couldn't stop baking.
Ooh.
It'd be like 5 a.m. This stuff in the oven. I'm like, okay, I'm going to work with cakes, huh?
You know what?
I want to work with cakes, cornbread, muffins. For at least 2 months.
Look, I need y'all to have no baby. I'm in the mood for some blueberry muffins and some lemon cakes. I need y'all to.
Not the lemon.
Wait, you asking entirely too much. Look, the after effect of that lasts too long. Stop playing.
I know it's 18 years in.
I'm like, whew.
Well, I was hanging out with the nephew yesterday, teaching him how to ride his tricycle, honey. That was a whole moment. He wore me. That little boy wore me out. Okay, he wore me out. So his little tricycle. We got to get him coordinated. He knows to put his feet on the pedals, but when he pushes down, he lets his foot off, so he doesn't follow through. And so, but once we get that part, once he understands, he got to keep his foot. I wish the tricycle had the little thing.
Right, that's what I was to say. The joint with the strap. Yeah. They don't do that no more.
No.
Check Amazon. Yeah,
because my dad, my dad old school. He talking about something. I'm just gonna put some rubber bands on his feet. He old school.
Hey, look here. I just had the same thought. I was like, rubber bands, some duct tape, call it a day. So
right. So that's the part. Once we get him coordinated with that part of it, he'll be good to go. Because he was moving. I mean, he moved a little bit. He just couldn't make it a continuous.
He couldn't keep moving.
Right.
Hey.
But yesterday was a good day. He didn't get frustrated. I mean, he was cool with what he did, because the last time we put him on the bike, and I think he just wasn't ready. The last time, I think his legs just weren't strong enough and he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
He was real frustrated. So he didn't get frustrated and he just made it, he made it work. He made it work. So
yeah, I had to do that with number 2.
Yeah.
Her little legs.
Yeah, because he's tall. He was tall because he's tall, but I just don't think they were strong enough to push the tricycle. You know what I mean? And his weight at the same time. So we got that like towards the end of the summer when we went to the beach house last summer. That was like the end of July, early August. And so we was worried that over the winter he would get too big for it, but he's not. So I mean, it might not make it to the end of the summer, but he good for right now. He got
a couple more months to go before you
okay.
Out. I just go ahead and put him on a bicycle after that.
Right. Okay. So, but anyway, so a lot has gone on. We doing better. We regular, but it seemed like a whole lot of stuff that went down in the last 2 weeks. So,
where are we starting?
Well, I think the first place we can start, I guess, we can let Mink. Did we already let Mink cuss out Sharon Osbourne? Did we already do that? Okay. Yeah. So part 2 of the Sharon Osbourne situation is she did leave, quote unquote, left the talk. Now, I think that was one of them situations where they said, listen, you can't come back, but we're going to go ahead and let you say you walked away. We're going to go, I'm breaking up with you, but you can tell everybody you broke up with me. Whatever makes you happy. But I really feel like it was a situation where she couldn't come back.
I told him to get out.
Just because of what happened with Cheryl Underwood. Remember, once that situation with Cheryl Underwood happened, everybody started talking. Holly Robinson Pete said some things. We found out that a complaint had been filed against her from one of the other panelists, Elaine Wentworth.
Sure. Yep.
The other Leah Remini made some statements that she had made some racist comments. So it was like the ball started rolling. And let's be clear, these aren't things that people did not know, but these were things that we did not.
Right.
So how you feel about that? I mean, do y'all think that she got off too easy? Do you think? I mean, how do you guys feel about the fact that? I mean, are you just happy that she gone? I mean, how you feel about it?
I didn't even care that she was there. So now that she gone,
I think most of us did, but
it was just like like it's not like I don't know. She didn't go on a whole racist tirade. She just let us know how uneducated she was. About the whole situation, and apparently, she had done some stuff already that people was already pissed off about. So, laundry's out. Laundry's out. She left. I don't see the ratings changing. I mean,
well, I'm gonna say
it's just like one of those things. Like it's kind of like she messed up at her job, got fired. Like it's like everybody else. Bye.
Yeah. It's interesting to see who they get to replace her because. Even though they already got their quota of Black women, I think it would be remiss if they did not replace her with a person of color just for optics. That's what they're gonna do. They would not replace her with another white woman. Like I don't think they would be that tone deaf to do that. And I'm not saying that they should or they shouldn't. I'm just saying I don't think they would be that tone deaf to do it. What you thinking, Mink? How you feel about it? What you think?
Honestly, I'm with fans. I didn't watch the show. I know who Sharon Osbourne is. I was never a big fan of hers. In a sense of, it is what it is. But yeah, I think they allowed her to leave with the. Okay, let's get back up. it's Sharon Osbourne. She's married to Ozzy Osbourne. So her level of coof and grace and whatever is not high. When they had their show, I watched her get into a battle with the neighbors and she was throwing meat across the fence in the neighbor's yard. Yeah. So I don't have a high level of expectation or decorum or whatever from her. So I think they allowed her to lead whatever dignity and grace that she has. Again, I didn't watch the show, so it is what it is. The makeup of the show, I couldn't even say who's on the show for real. If there is only one person of color on it, they do need to add another person, not just for the sake of optics or whatever, but just to have a balance. It doesn't have to be a Black person, just a person of color. If they don't have a Latino person on there, another Asian lady that was there originally, she left, maybe find someone to fill her. Put a man on there. Have some type of diversity on the show.
Well, T.S. Madison, I don't know if you guys are familiar with T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison is a transgendered woman who has been sort of doing an online campaign. I would be here for that. Because again, when you start talking about diversity, I would definitely be here for that. Because the last person that they had that was part of the LGBTQIA community was Sarah. What's the girl name from?
Small letters now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was Sarah the girl from
Sarah Gilbert?
Yeah, Sarah Gilbert, who was one of the creators of the show, to be honest, at the beginning, and they have not had anyone, to my knowledge, who was openly a member of the community. So I would definitely be. I know, El Teddy, I can tell the notifications didn't go out because ain't nobody in here, but we're gonna make it roll. We're gonna roll with it. Thank you for coming through. So I would definitely be here for that. I would be here for that.
Yes, I think Sarah. I think Sarah left when the Connors came back.
She left when they did the reboot of Rosie. Yeah,
but I think she still has her name in the credits or something somewhere. Sure. But yeah, honestly, and not because you want to spotlight any type of person. Hey, El Teddy, hey, Quintessential, but just in a sense of having a diverse opinion as opposed to having the same linear thought every single time. And I get just because, you're a white person, you're not going to think like the next white person. But the people that they pick are generally from the same type of cloth who give the same outlook and opinion. So when situations like this happen, they kind of give unempathetic viewpoint on things and think that, that's how it's supposed to be, and just kind of move on. Any show, I love to have shows with vocal people. Like Yo Girl, I love seeing, I don't really watch the show, but I like seeing Whoopi on what's that show?
The View, baby.
The View. Yeah, because Whoopi, to me, Whoopi is that person who gives an opinion, not necessarily of this is how I did it, or this is how it's done. But she'll say, like, this is how I did it, but America looks at it this way. I may not always agree or whatever, but she tries to give a broader perspective and opinion. Whereas a lot of people, they just say, well, this is how it, like, what's that girl? The McCain girl. And what was the blonde before her? The skinny blonde before her? Elizabeth Hasselbeck. She lived in a world of, I came home every day to chocolate chip cookies and my mommy in heels and pearls, so should everybody else. But that's not everybody else's reality. And we don't need real people on a broad platform that thinks that way.
Right, that's just not everybody's story. Well, El Teddy doesn't think Maddie would be suited for it. I think so. She's Quintessential, to answer your question, she's actually been campaigning for it. So I think she could do it. And I definitely feel like she could give a different point of view and a different voice to it. When they start talking about day-to-day topics and interviewing people. And I think she would bring a diverse audience. And again, it doesn't have to be her, but I'm just saying somebody in the LGBTQIA community, because I don't think we've had others outside of after Sarah left. And remember when the show first started, she wasn't even open. She came out on the show. So, and I mean, nobody has to. Like, I'm not one of those people that feel like you got to tell people your business. Like, you don't have to. But I'm just saying, when we start talking about diversity, I just feel like somebody who was in, in the community. But
hell, call Betty White. I'd love to see her on there.
Betty White.
Betty White.
Because
Betty gonna be there.
I would tell you one thing: if Betty White was on any talk show, it's like that, I would watch.
Because Betty gonna bring you that old grandma love, but she gonna bring with a new flavor and a sass.
I don't care. I would watch it.
I'm just saying, in all honesty, I saw someone said Laverne Cox. L. Teddy said Laverne Cox. I think Laverne Cox might be a good addition to the show.
Right. Laverne Cox. Pose is over now. We got MJ Rodriguez from Pose, who I think she's Latino and she's also trans. You know, she checks two, and I hate to be crass about it, but I'm just saying she checks two of the boxes. You know, definitely will bring a different point of view. So again, I'm not saying it has to be Maddie. I'm just saying, I mean, I'm okay with it being Maddie, but in the community, I think that would be a good replacement to find somebody that's part of the LGBTQIA community. That, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like for me, I would like to see a Latino person. A Latinx person on the show, regardless of their sexuality, just to kind of give, you know, that's a definitely underserved population, you know, as far, you know, you see more than likely the depiction of Black people and Latinos are probably around roughly the same. You know, the type of strong roles, strong characters, voices being heard is about the same. Their plight, you know, is a little different from ours, but in the end of it, we're all kind of treated the same.
They tend to be stuck. Point of view, right? They tend to be stuck in their stereotypes, just like we are.
Yeah. So, just and nothing against the, you know, the LGBTQIA community. Let me make sure I got it right. Nothing against that community, but I think that community right now has a really strong voice. A real, you know, the thing is, we're more than likely to see somebody from that population on television in a strong positive role than say a Black person in a positive role or a Latino in a positive role. I'm just looking for more positive images of people. If they just so happen to be, you know, like you said, like check two boxes, perfectly fine, you know, it's good. Right. But I'm just tired of seeing the same people with the same opinions on television every single day.
Right. Well, speaking of which, we can just roll on over to The View since you already brought The View. Let's roll on over to The View. So Meghan McCain, who I cannot stand.
Oh,
you still on the show?
Yes, she's still on the show.
Okay.
She has made a series of ignorant statements. The first one is a statement she made a long time ago. I know, right?
Oh.
The first one is a statement she made a long time ago that sort of has made its way back in light of the violence that we saw, the shooting down in Atlanta last week against the Asian community. She made a comment. This was a few months ago. This is like maybe back in October, November, where Donald Trump was receiving criticism for referring to COVID as the, you know, Wuhan flu or the Chinese flu. And she was like, well, I don't have a problem with it because it did come from China. It did come from Wuhan. And maybe if they had handled it better from the beginning, then maybe they would have, we wouldn't be in this mess that we're in now. And people on the panel said to her, but it is causing a lot of violence amongst Asian Americans, because they were talking about the violence then against Asian Americans. And I mean, I know Whoopi because I know Whoopi, but you know, they told her, they was like, but him making those comments is further perpetuating that violence and that discrimination against the Asian community. And well, I don't care. I mean, she didn't say she didn't care, but basically she was like, but I mean, okay, but da 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 da. So last week, John Oliver on his show, was it Last Week Tonight? I think I always get the title wrong, but Last Week Tonight.
Last week with John Oliver.
Yeah, he basically ripped her a new one, in only the way that he knows how to do.
Right, directly.
Basically, you know, highlighting.
It was a direct ripping.
Huh?
It was a direct ripping, like both.
It was a direct ripping.
Yeah.
Highlighting how ignorant she was to make those statements. In light of where we are today and what happened in Georgia.
And plus, if we had, you know, if somebody 45 hadn't messed around with the CDC and cut everything off and everything else, it wouldn't have affected America like it did.
Right. I mean, we can't blame China for everything that went wrong here in the United States as far as
we had something in place, y'all. Y'all remember the swine flu? How long that last? 2 weeks?
Right. I mean, Yeah, and I mean, and that's not to say it wouldn't have lasted longer, but I definitely don't.
It wouldn't have been what it was.
Like, 500,000 Americans dead. Let's be clear.
And it wouldn't have been this. If we didn't win the quarantine, it wouldn't have been like it wouldn't have been 2020. I'll tell you that. If everything was in place like it was, 5-6 years ago.
Right. So she apologized for that, although I don't think she meant it. I'm sure they made her do it. But no sooner did she apologize after that, she came back around
on the show or on Twitter or something.
On the show, and basically she was, and this was conversation in response to Dr. Rachel Levine being confirmed as the Assistant Secretary of Health, and she is the first trans woman to be a part of the cabinet. And so she was making comments about the Biden administration putting a whole lot of emphasis on diversity and being the first to do something and putting these people in place that may or may not be qualified instead of choosing the most qualified person, which, in a lot of cases might be a white man, but they're the most qualified. And so she doesn't want us to get so caught up on, again, checking a box that we're putting people who are not qualified or not as qualified as the rich white man.
Qualified according to whom?
Well, not only that, but the point that was made to her on the show was the reality is some of these white men may have a better resume because simply by the fact of them being a white man, doors were open to them. It doesn't mean that they're smarter. It doesn't mean they're more qualified to do the job. It just means they may have a looking resume, but which further proves the point. They have a better resume simply because they were the white one in the room, not because they were smarter. I mean, let's look at George W. Bush. Now, I've grown to love.
Aren't they? I mean, we had a whole scandal, right? Aren't they paying for education? Aren't they?
We can talk about that too.
Just saying.
Right. So, Mink, I know that was a long wind up, but I wanted to get it all in so we can just give Meghan one conversation and then we can move on. So, how are you feeling about it?
I don't watch The View, but I mean, same thing with Meghan. She's a take it or leave it. Again, I just think she's there. Speaking of you're there because you're the right person in the room, I think she rolled her daddy's back into the show.
Which is another criticism that people have been giving her. Like, but you think you're the most qualified person to be on the panel? Like, out of everybody on the View, you have the least amount of qualifications to be where you are. But go ahead.
Which I think they brought up on the show, if I'm not mistaken. That was on YouTube like a long time ago. If I'm not mistaken, they brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be surprised. It's like, I mean, in all honesty, when I picture The View, I see Whoopi on the left of my screen. I remember seeing Barbara Walters on the right. So look now and see Meghan on the right. Like, really, you think we're gonna go from Barbara Walters
to you,
and you think that's okay? That was a step up or a linear move or whatever? No, if her last name was anything but McCain, she would be in the audience like the rest of the white women that watch the show. So it's like. And please don't sit here and act like you've done something special. And I agree with you, Classic, about, because of the opportunities and stuff that, a lot of Caucasian males are handed to them time and time and time again because of who they are and who their family is. They're afforded, they're given an opportunity to get a position and then grow while they're in a position where other people have to come to the position ready.
Right. Trust me, at least I know. I may have seen it where you guys work. I see it all the time in my field. So there's all the time, and it's like, wait, am I working for you? Or am I training you? I'm confused.
Oh, it happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah. So I was just like, girl, if you don't stay somewhere,
Abby.
Hey, Abby.
What's up, Ebs?
Hey, everyone that joined that we might have missed.
Welcome. And thank you, little baby, because she is doing the thing as my mod. She is working it out over there. Thank you so much for reminding all the people that they need all the things from Avon.
All the while doing laundry. She is multitasking, auntie. Multitasking. I just think that, and again, I can appreciate the fact that her co-workers let her know, ma'am, you are only here because of your daddy, and you are not the most qualified. Well, hello, Big Daddy. I ain't seen you in a while. And then you are only here
because of your daddy's resume. And so I'm glad that was brought to her attention. But again, she went to Twitter and basically didn't back down. Basically was like, I'm not a whiner, I'm not a quitter, and I'm okay. And
really,
it is. I understand it because I'm the only conservative voice. I'm going to be attacked. And I'm like, you're not being attacked because you're the conservative voice. You're being attacked because you
sound dumb.
Right, you're repeating ignorant conservative values. Like those are two different things, ma'am.
But the thing is, in all honesty, is she being attacked? And I don't mean no harm, and let's just snatch the skirt off of it. But it's like anytime somebody is disagreeing with, a white person or a person in privilege, they feel attacked because everybody needs to agree with them.
No, Twitter drugged the dog shit out of her. No.
Oh well, then she can look. What I say? You get what you get. Don't let
no, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying no. Twitter gave it to her good. Yeah.
I mean, she did it with the expectation that she would have the support and backing, all the whatever. But I mean, when you put it out there, especially you put it out on Twitter, that's how you find out how much love you really have.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't mad at it. I think she should have got drugged because, again, essentially what you are saying is, and again, we've been debating this since the 70s, but essentially what you are saying is we need to get rid of affirmative action because affirmative action is reverse racism. So you are just, so let's be clear. I'm cool with what she got. Y'all know how I feel about Meghan's ass. I'm cool with what she got. But yeah, no, Twitter gave it to her, but they should have given it to her.
And just from my perspective, if you're gonna talk shit, be prepared to defend yourself. That's all I'm saying. You can't just jump out. And
there. You're putting bullshit out there. Like, let's be clear.
You can't just jump out there and not be ready for no backlash. I mean,
but that goes back to her. That goes back to her privileged mentality. I can come out here and say what I want, and either you're supposed to agree with me or you're supposed to shut up.
But I think a part of her knew it was going to be what it was. And I think it's now she wants to play the martyr. Oh, I'm the only conservative, because she likes to play that card too. I'm the only conservative voice up here. And so I'm saying the unpopular opinion, but it doesn't mean I'm wrong. Like, I think a part of her likes playing the victim as well.
They all do. I don't know. When going gets tough, I know very few white women that don't play the victim in the end.
Yeah, it's a Karen move. It's a typical Karen move.
I've never not seen it.
Yeah, it's so Karen of them to sit back and again say what they want to say, and then turn around and the minute you disagree or when you're offended and you bite back, then they're weak constitutions, and it's like, for real, like, get your whole life together.
I've reached that, and got a person decided to Karen up. And it came to me, I was like, and I told him exactly what I said. It was like, well, we can't put Will. Will's not in trouble for actually telling you the rules.
Right.
Like, he literally told you the rules. And you can't tell me that Will got angry because it's me. I'm the same at all times. So I was like, and there's no way you can get us to believe that Will yelled at you. Like, he was working there for all this time. We've never heard him yell.
I'm about to say, I don't think I've ever heard you yell. I have heard you elevate your voice while we were having heated conversations about like sports and stuff like that, but I have never seen you yell at someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
was like, it was just like, all right, look, the head of HR just turned around and walked away. Like, what?
When HR just be like, yeah, I'm not.
And it was another white woman. The head of HR, white woman. She looked at me, looked at her, and it was like, and walked off.
HR said, "Really, bitch."
Right.
And walked off.
Right. I just really feel like, and again, let's be clear, I'm not opposed to having a conservative voice on the panel, but I think it's needed. I think it's needed for balance. But the problem is, instead of giving the conservative voice, I feel like Meghan feels like she has to give the most extreme conservative voice just to prove her point. And you don't have to do that. Anna Navarro, she's one of those Republicans that was like a never Trumper. And so she sort of hasn't been very Republican-esque these last 4 years, but she still has very conservative values. And I feel like if Meghan doesn't watch herself, then Anna's going to end up taking her position, taking her job, because Anna is going to start moving back towards this, at least what we perceive as a center, because she's not going to agree with everything that Biden is doing. She's not going to be okay with all of the policies because she is still very much a Republican at heart. She just wasn't a Trumper. And
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. So Meghan, you really need to watch it, because your former friend, because they were friends, but I don't know if they're friends anymore, the way they be going at each other, child. I don't know if they're friends anymore. But your former friend is going to end up taking your damn job if you don't, get your
I mean, and I think conservative, I think it's a matter of perspective. At least that's the way I'm looking at it these days, because I've been, in conversations with coworkers. They were of the other persuasion, and they looked at me like, I can see like you're liberal, but you have, like, depending on the topic, you have conservative views on things. And they were talking, I was like, I guess. I don't know about being older and being a parent or whatever, maybe, but
I would
understand where I'm coming from, though. They was like, yeah, I mean, everything you say makes sense. I'm just saying, like, they was like, I didn't expect you. They didn't want to say I didn't expect you as a black man to have a conservative viewpoint on things, but I know that's what they were trying to say, but I mean, it is like, depending on what the topic is.
Let me say this, Xavier. Because Xavier said, I don't think they'll let Meghan go. She's ratings gold. And I'm going to say this. I would have agreed with you before her maternity leave. That's been something that people talked about. The ratings did not go down while she was on maternity leave. As a matter of fact, the ratings actually went up while she was out on maternity leave. And so I think her going out on maternity leave, did you see how fast she came back from maternity leave? Did you see how fast she got her ass back on TV? The numbers don't lie. And I think a lot of people felt like that because she did stir up so much controversy and stuff like that, that people were like, oh, she's good for ratings. She's good for ratings. But when she was gone on maternity leave, and you saw when she came back, and that whole thing that went viral where she was like, oh, did you miss me? And Joy Behar was like, no, I really didn't. And she was like, what? How could you say that? That hurt my feelings. But
hey, you asked Joy Behar. I mean, it's Joy Behar. What did you expect?
My thing is, Joy and Whoopi are two people that you don't ask questions. You don't want to know. If you don't want to answer the honest answer, you might not want to ask the question.
Get out of here and look here. She was good for social media, I would say. Like, but that's not ratings. That's not what they, that's what they sell commercial time on. Like, she was good for social media. I knew who Meghan McCain was and stuff that was happening just because of like Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. Like, I didn't know it from the show. I really watched it.
I didn't know who she was until she said something. So I think like the first or second time she said something stupid on the show, and they hit the news, and everybody was like Meghan McCain. And I asked hubby, and he was like, "Yeah, that's John McCain's daughter." I was like, "Oh."
Well, I knew who she was. I've known who she was because she's always been nasty. She's always been a brat, and she, in her younger days, got in a lot of trouble for getting drunk in public places. She was like the political, and she hung with the Bush twins, and they were the like,
well, shit.
Right. They were like the political version of Paris Hilton and their crew back in the day. They were known for getting drunk, getting belligerent, being Karens. But Meghan, the Bush twins, not as much as Meghan. I mean, the Bush twins were known for getting drunk, but not being as nasty and stuff. Meghan got a really bad reputation. I mean, she's always had a reputation for being nasty and rude, but see, she's been rewarded for it. And now it's translated.
She's in a space, and she's about to get punched in the face.
Right, I'm just a tough cookie, and I just don't back down. It's just been translated in her mind. Yes, Roland Martin drug the dog stuff out of her over to his YouTube show. Y'all can go check that out. All right. Any final words on Meghan McCain before we move forward?
Me?
She's a non-factor.
Okay.
And we shall move on from here.
All right. Now, we also had another scandal that hit, and this hit more, I would say more Black Twitter than it affected everybody, because most people didn't even know who this person was.
Here we go. Did y'all have a discussion before we started?
No, not too long.
Okay.
So, Derrick Jackson.
Nope. Call him by his real name.
Derrick Jackson. Hey, Auntie Natalia. What's up, boo?
Call him by his name.
For those who don't know who Derrick Jackson is, I'm just gonna give you He is a pseudo relationship guru that tells black women all the things that they man is doing wrong, and really in a lot of cases encourages black women to break up with their men and look for this perfect man. Now he has a YouTube channel where the thing is him sitting in his car telling black women how horrible black men are. He's written books based on this. He has built a whole brand on him being this, being the perfect example of what black love and a black man and how a black man should treat his black woman. He has come for celebrities such as T.I., John Gray. When they got into relationship issues and it became public, he has come for these people. Well, we found out this week.
Cheated on his wife.
No, he did more than that. Let's go. Let's rewind. Tasha K, I'm giving credit where credit's due. Tasha K did the expose. She's another YouTuber that did the expose exposing him and finding out that he didn't just cheat on his wife. He had a series of affairs. Okay. He didn't just have oops, I slipped up and slept with the script one night. No. He has had what does that have to do with anything we're talking about, Il Teddy? He just dropping stuff in the chat. Anyway, he has had multiple affairs, even got, a mistress or two pregnant.
So, and that's not cheating on his wife. I'm just saying that still falls into the cheating on his wife category.
Oh yeah, beyond. No, I'm just saying. I just wanted to be clear that yes, he cheated on his wife, but it was there levels to the cheating. There are levels to it.
He went all the way in.
Yeah, there are levels.
I got caught up on the situation. He went all the way in.
I understand. Oh, you got caught up on it.
I got caught up on the situation. He went all the way in.
And then we had this video of him and his wife looking like a hostage. Of his yes, it happened. First, he tried to say it only happened when him and his wife were separated. Then more and more women came forward, and he had to just go on and admit that it happened. And
he did, I like the other video he did in third person and still try to sell his products at the end.
Right.
I didn't see it. I saw what's your boy's name? Kevin on stage. Kevin on stage reposted it and then had comments about it, which was hilarious, by the way.
All right, so go forward.
Derrick Jackson.
I don't know if I should have something to say, but go ahead.
DCD Jackson. Okay. First of all, he didn't have an affair on his wife. He was cheating on the women he was sleeping with.
He was cheating on the people he was cheating with other people that he was cheating with.
His wife was the side piece. He had too many other women. His wife was the side piece. Him and his wife been together for 12 years. He's been cheating for 11. Come on now. They've been married for 4, but they've been together
and he
for 12.
cheated on her before they got married and got back together. So
they've been together for 12 years. They've been married for about 4 or 5. He's been cheating for 11. She came out and said that she knew he was cheating. She's seen videos of him and the other women in bed. She's watched the videos over and over again, trying to learn some tips and tricks from the women that he's sleeping with, hoping that will bring him back to her. So I'm not even gonna lie. I started coming on today with a bonnet on my head or my helmet of salvation. But in all honesty, and see, this is my
am I too early? Because I've been drinking.
This is my problem. I go down in rabbit holes when it comes to stuff like this. I get sucked down like Alice in Wonderland, and I'd be deep down in there. So far, I got to eat the cake and drink the juice to get out. This one took me because it's like y'all are saying, it is levels upon layers with this. First of all, yes, she in a cult. And she need to get out. That's the first thing. Before she even get away from Derrick, she need to get away from the cult. Because the cult is making her stay with him. Second of all, and I said, like when it first came out, I was talking to my husband, and I took my normal stance. I don't really care. Whatever goes on between the woman what.
Time out. I just gotta give mad respect to Lil Baby's advertising.
Yeah, Okay.
Can't go to swim. What she just put, you know what, little baby, you are on it today. I swear. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. It caught my eye. I was like,
well, hold up. You know what, little baby, you might want to DM that to what's her name? Kalaja. What's the wife's name? Mrs. DC.
Miss Sealy. Miss Sealy.
Not Miss Sealy.
We'll say a prayer for Miss Sealy.
She's standing by Mister.
She's standing by Mister. And I'm sitting here like, you standing by your man, and he ain't standing by you. She looked like somebody who has what is this, Stockholm syndrome? I told you
that was the what I say, the hijack tape. What I say the tape was with her sitting there holding his hand and
it's been called hashtag blink twice.
Right, that's what I said. I was just getting ready to say blink if you need help, girl. Blink.
Right, she's a captive audience.
Yeah, and then she came back. She came back twice. Okay, so they did a video together, and they came back with a second video together because everybody said she had a bond in her head and she couldn't talk like she was a hostage. So they came back with another video so she could give her piece. And then he did the video
with her hair done, by the way.
No, the second video she still had the bonnet on her head.
I must saw the third one. Maybe the pictures on Instagram. I don't know. Go ahead.
And then she came
on with that beret and them army fatigues. I said I cannot and I will not. I will not.
She did another solo one after that. Then he did one in his car.
Giving himself props.
The one in the car took me out. The one in the car absolutely took me out because Derrick Jackson. Don't think that Derrick Jackson.
Right.
And I'm sitting here like, dude, how narcissistic and egotistical are you?
Yo, this whole internet fame thing is my look here. I don't. You know what? Never mind. I ain't even gonna finish that statement. But y'all know what I'm trying to say. Go ahead.
Well, you know what, Bap? I don't think it's a situation where
like it's not real life, people.
Right. I don't think it's a situation where people are shocked that I think it's the fact that, first of all, black men have been ready for this because they've been hating on him all along because of the types of stuff he's been saying and encouraging, their women to do. That's number one. Number two, yes.
I'm gonna just say this right now. I saw one video that he did. One. Because I got the memo. The Black Man League memo.
Right, the Black Man memo.
the Black Man League memo to go ahead and watch this and give my thoughts. And I watched it and I was like, I think women listen to this horse shit. And they were like, yeah. I'm like, well, they gotta be where is their self-esteem to believe this horse shit that he's actually giving them this entertainment, right? That was my whole thought. This is entertainment. I mean, whatever. Let them live. Kind of find out people taking them serious. I was like, where?
And I think
where? How did we get here?
Right, and I think that's what it is. I don't think it's a situation where people were. I mean, I was shocked not because a man cheated, because it never shocks me to find out a man cheated. It shocks me when I hear how careless they are sometimes and how
fantastically he got caught.
When you literally became a millionaire. Literally, you became a millionaire by telling other black men to treat their women better. It seems to me that you will put more care into how you treat your woman. You got to be perfect, but I mean, you're not gonna be you out here picking up Instagram hoes. They ain't got no loyal. I mean, they ain't loyal. Like, why you not out here dealing with women that got something to lose? That's not gonna be so careless about putting your business.
I would say this.
That's all I'm saying.
I would say this: a real celebrity wouldn't have gone through this much. Wouldn't have got caught like this. That's all I'm saying. A real celebrity wouldn't have got caught like this. Not like this.
But again, it goes back to his ego. He thought that his shit was good enough where one nobody gonna snitch, one nobody gonna tell, and he had all the women locked down. I mean, he is Derrick Jackson, and all these women are in love with me. I mean, if you go back to older pictures and stuff. He's gone through a transformation. And he probably get all the attention that he didn't get in high school and college. And he's living those little childhood dreams. And now he's DCD. And again, his wife is broken too. She has her own hangups about herself.
Yeah, money talks. Bullshit runs a marathon.
So I mean, she has her self-esteem and self-worth and everything is low. And I know at one point in time, the doctor, Dr. Nikki, the surgeon he's supposed to been sleeping with, she said Derrick on a Tasha K interview, the surgeon said that Derrick grabbed her by her arm or something, and she kind of said something to him about it, and then he came out and admitted that he had been physical with his wife. And she left, the wife left and went home to the parents and told her parents what happened. And her parents sent her back to him. So she has issues. I mean, they said she was raised in a really strict Christian household. Her parents are like, marriage is sacred. You don't leave your marriage no matter what. You try to work it out and send her back.
Yeah.
That's sorry. You know, she said that she's had issues with her skin complexion, how she looks, and how that's an issue. For you to sit back and watch your husband have sex with all different women over and over because you're trying to learn tips and tricks from the women he's sleeping with, the child got issues.
Yeah, first of all, he probably gave her the videos.
He probably
I have.
Secondly,
I mean, why did you just stumble into some sex tapes?
And secondly, he's dumb because even the mafia knows you got to pay the police off. So obviously he didn't hold up his end of whatever deal he made with all these women. You gotta, look, your team gotta eat. So if they're not eating and you mess it up, you're not even gangster.
Well, Xavier said they're side on the doctor. I am too, for the simple fact of, and Tasha K brought it up because the doctor name is Nikki. Well, Nikki. And Nikki is
girl named Nikki, I get.
And Nikki is like, I didn't know he was married. That was in my head too. Nikki was like, I didn't know he was married. And he told me that his wife had packed the kids up and went to Colorado. And they supposed to be in Atlanta. Packed the kids up and left him and went to Colorado. But Tasha was like, well, if you watch his dad, Tasha K is like, oh, well, when you watch his videos and he's in his car, you see the car seat in the background. If his wife done packed up, left the kids, and you don't know when he coming back, why he still got a car seat in the back of his car?
Hey, look here. I left the car seat in the back of mine. My kids were too big for the car seat. I was just too lazy to take it out. That's a fact. I'm not saying this is the situation with this man. But I just my own laziness. Go ahead.
I mean, my thought is, and then the doctor talks about how they got into it one day and she wouldn't answer the phone. So he came out of her job and was sitting in front of her job, masturbating in this car and sent her the video. Like the dude, I'm sitting here like, and she kind of goes on all the different things and incidents that happened.
I'm mad I heard that. Damn it.
Just look, if I had to hear, you had to hear too. Just the different incidents, the things that he's done. Like one time he came banging on her door and told her to shut up, or some little crazy action he had with Nikki. And I'm like, and I'm not saying, okay, my thing is, ain't no man gonna talk to me however he feel. But this ain't even your husband. This ain't even your man.
And you're armed.
This some dude that you just randomly having sex with whenever you feel like it.
He's supposed to leave afterwards. That ain't the rule.
And my thing is like, what power does he have over these women, over his wife, over the surgeon? And they all praising her like, you're a surgeon. You're a surgeon. That means you're smart. I know that means she passed the medical boards. Like, because common sense and intelligence are different. Because again,
we know this. But
you ain't gonna and talk to me however you feel. You ain't gonna be outside of my job. You ain't gonna be outside of my house acting a fool.
Look. All I'm saying is, since Classic has brought me into this realm of social media and YouTube and everything else, I've been trying to go in and see what's happening out here in these streets, for the streets, and so I can stay abreast, because I never know where these conversations gonna go when we get together. It's weird out there. I mean, like they put a lot of it's like their chance at being fame and being something that they weren't before, or getting ahead, and it's like an easy way out. And I'm like, nope, it's not. Truth be told, but it's a whole world out there that they try to live in it. Like 100%. And I was like, that's not how the world works.
Right. I mean,
that's not the real world. I mean,
it's
more
not.
power to you if you've gone out there, you made your money and all of that, and you've gone on and do other things, but you've noticed that people that's really made it, they've gone and done other things.
I mean, but like Xavier just pointed out, the doctor claimed that he blocked her from YouTube. Houseway, there are 4 billion people. How you block one from YouTube?
You can block somebody, but it's not like you can't. Like I can block somebody right now that's in my chat. All they got to do is just create another.
She's saying that he blocked her from YouTube, and then he told her she can't go on YouTube and see any of his videos. Why? You're a social media person. Your platform is YouTube. You're going to tell, you need viewers. You're going to tell one person.
No, wait, basically he's saying you can't come around my job.
But he had her job off from masturbating. Dude, if you don't get all the way on my face. And the thing about it is, she did it. That's the part that, and I'm, Lord knows, I ain't even trying to drown on that whole of domestic
man.
violence and abuse.
Yeah,
but
please,
she did.
Don't.
Like, for real.
Let's be clear, and I think, and again, and I don't want to, I ain't gonna go too much further down this rabbit hole because it's a lot. Like Miss Honey said, there are so many layers to this. Hey, peace, love. Hey, boo. But let's be clear about something. Just because this woman has book intelligence and she's a surgeon, it does not mean that her self-esteem is any higher than his wife's. It doesn't mean that she has any more real-world intelligence than his wife. And again, men like him. That is,
and she found some quick companionship.
Right. That is what they do. They prey on women who are not going to question them, women who are going to listen to what they say and go along and get along and all that. I mean, that is what we do. I mean, not we, but that is what predators do.
And the thing about it is, he has a type of woman, and the Instagram models who need attention, and they probably get something from him. His wife who has no self-esteem, so she feels validated because this nice-looking man pays some attention to her, and she kind of admitted to that in one of her Instagram posts about how they met back when they were in college, and nobody really paid attention to no guys, and he came over and said hi. So she felt it validated because this nice looking man said hi to her. So it is a whole bunch of darkness in this situation.
And I'll be honest, it's working for the firms that I worked at, I found out that if you can treat a professional, smart, educated woman, I don't matter, as a woman, respectfully as a woman, she'll talk to you. What I'm saying? Because of how they establish, they're treated a certain way, like with a certain amount of just respect as they should get. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, you've done all that, but as far as their personal life, they're so busy trying to not be looked down upon as being a woman. You know what I'm saying? And they got to put up with all us dude horseshit, especially on their level. It doesn't stop. Like, it just gets worse. From what I've seen. And then if you can actually, have an intelligent conversation, you're in the door. Now, what you do with it after that point, that's on you. But I'm just saying, that's probably how he ended up, getting with this surgeon. He actually had a few sentences of humbleness, and she could actually have an open conversation with somebody.
Oh, Street, you better tell him. Let me explain something to what you can't do. Sir. John Gray, what you can't do is get in on this conversation. No, ma'am. No, sir. You are not vindicated.
Is that the heavy set pastor guy?
Huh?
Is that John Gray? Is that the heavy set pastor guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so I understood the thing of his I read. I'm not gonna say that's what I say I agree with it. I kind of understand what he's saying. When he got caught. Well, okay. According to John Gray, he did not have sexual relations with the women.
Did he repeat Bill Clinton? Did he repeat Bill Clinton?
He just said he had inappropriate conversation. So, but his thing was the fire that Derrick Jackson went after John Gray with for being with these women, and you to do better, sir, and you not this and you not that. All the while, Derrick Jackson, DC. T. Jackson, was having a string of affairs with these women. So how dare you stand in judgment of me and publicly criticize me for what I'm doing when you're out here doing the same thing, if not 10 times worse or not worse. So that's where I understand where John Gray is coming from.
But I want John Gray to go sit down.
I mean, I agree.
Jackson's
actions. I mean, he's not a, yeah, he falls to a predatory habits.
All I'm saying is,
I agree with that. I can agree with that.
If Will gets arrested for stealing, and I make a big deal about how big of a thief Will is and how horrible of a person Will is for stealing, and I get arrested for stealing,
who you calling Will?
Change the fact that Will is a thief. It just makes us too.
Who's Will?
John Gray, you are not. Oh, my bad. An imaginary person named Will. My bad. It does not vindicate you, sir. Although you called yourself Will earlier, but my bad. You know, I be forgetting. My bad.
You're supposed to be coaching me up.
I know, right? I'm supposed to be coaching you. We don't use no government names around here. But yeah, so the funny thing is I call Mink in real life, so I probably never slip up with Mink, but I don't call you Face in real life, so that's why I be getting in trouble. Okay. That's why I be getting in trouble. But that's Face, y'all.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I'm not saying that John Gray, because see, you just like me. I got the right. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I get where his anger can come from, because all the while you sitting here pointing fingers at me, judging me, you doing the exact same thing. It's like, dude, really? And I think the only difference between John Gray and DCD is the fact that John Gray is a pastor. So his intended profession is kind of to lead. People come to him for guidance and for leadership in that type of realm, where Derrick Jackson, DCD, is a social media blogger. No one really looks for his expert advice. It's all, like you said earlier, Face, it's all entertainment and opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen I don't follow Derrick Jackson. None of that. I don't think I've truly followed.
I've only watched one video all the way through.
I've never watched the whole video.
Only because I was asked to.
I've seen somebody will post something on Facebook and it'll pop up my timeline and I'll watch it. If it's more than 3 or 4 minutes, I'll be like, look, dude. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff that he says.
If I see his videos, it's usually somebody else spoofing his video, like Captain Stage or Tony Baker, or it's like somebody I forget the other comedian's name, because you would think they would straight out trash him, but it's kind of like this guy, how,
I've seen probably maybe a total, including Derrick Jackson on Derrick Jackson.
Derrick Jackson on Derrick Jackson. And by the way, buy my video. That one. Buy the book. Go online.
Right. Because he got a whole book now about forgiveness and him and his wife getting through whatever. Anyway, moving on, child.
Hey, classic.
What up?
Can I come by? Because I'm running low. I need to come down. I need to come down. I keep come down the street.
I got some over here, but you pass 3 liquor stores before you get to my house. That's all I'm saying. You can always come through and get you some. The boss stay stacked.
This is all pay week. I'm just trying to.
Oh well, if it ain't pay week, come on through and get you some. Come on through and get your little taste. As the old folks say, come get your little taste.
Just saying, I'm running low because this DCD conversation had me.
Had you doing a little lot? Well, okay.
Wait a minute. O Street says it's going to be a movie in 5 years. It's going to be less than that because according to girlfriend Nikki, Derrick Jackson done hooked up with TD Jakes for a book deal.
Not anymore. I bet you that book deal dried up real quick.
Oh no, they put a gag order on Nikki because they're in the works now of doing a book deal about it. Because Derrick Jackson has a book called Healing Together.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that book came out last year.
TD Jakes ain't touching this. No.
You see my face?
If it had been a situation
where
face?
You see my face?
Yeah, if it had been a situation where he came out, he admitted it happened, and they worked through it, and God, through their faith and through the church, they worked through it. But all of this other stuff that's coming out about, alleged, cult-like behavior and, sex tapes, and that his wife was, I'm heard allegedly his wife was involved in threesomes and stuff. No. TD Jakes ain't touching that. Now, if it had just been a clean, I did bad, I did wrong, I apologize to my wife, we've been in counseling, we worked through it through God, that's one thing. But this right here, now somebody else might touch it, but TD Jakes ain't touching this. No matter.
Twitter fame.
It's gonna be
man, whatever. He's done. He's
all right. Okay, moving on.
Please let it be something else.
Of course, we're totally switching gears. According to so Sesame Street has added 2 new characters that are Black, and their purpose is to teach about diversity and racial, on a kid's level, obviously, but to teach about diversity and things of that nature. Now, how do y'all feel? Because I'm gonna say some things that's gonna probably piss some people off, but okay. But tell me how y'all feel about it.
Mink.
I'm mad it took Sesame Street 51 years to get some Black puppets.
Thank you. Woo. Who do we have to look for? The Count?
I mean,
and Oscar? Like that's all we had.
And I know they had the bald Black guy. I can't think of his name, and I think it was his son or something. I think
that was that and the Latina chick.
But and her daughter. But the kids left years ago. I'm not sure where they are, but I'm like, why did it take you 51, 52 years to get some Black puppets on your show? Only because of this matter right here.
Or to teach about diversity at all?
Yeah, I mean, Sesame Street came out in 68, 69. You came out during a civil rights movement, and you didn't think then to put some Black Muppets, or even in the 70s when we were going through Black Power, you waited until now. We're in our 3rd decade in the new millennium, and now y'all saying let's put some Black puppets on there?
The closest they got was the Snuffleupagus thing. Remember, nobody knew who he was? And all of that, they kind of try to do a whole thing about the rest and all that in between there at some point. But
let me defend Sesame Street a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We all grew up on Sesame Street. Now y'all know that when we was growing up on Sesame Street, we saw diversity. They had Latino people on there. They had Black people on there.
Latino?
You didn't watch Sesame Street? What the hell is wrong with? That's why you the way you are now. That is why you are the.
I'm with you. Yep. There was a Black dude. There was a Latina chick.
They had a Latino. They had Black. They had
There was an Asian on there somewhere.
They did. They had Asian on there.
Like the real people. Wait. Hold on. The real people, not the puppets.
I mean, okay. So don't get me wrong. So like, I wasn't a loyal watcher of Sesame Street. I know like the character, people's faces and things, but it wasn't like my everyday life to watch Sesame Street. But I know people on there.
My whole thing was like,
and the Electric Company. Anyway,
to actually make it a thing about diversity, like now, like you would have thought it'd be more of a thing.
Well, Big Daddy T, I know you in real life, and that's what's wrong with you too.
Big Daddy.
So I don't think that this is something new that Sesame Street is doing. I do think that in the wake of Black Lives Matter, maybe they're doing differently, approaching it from a different point of view or what have you. I want to say this though. 2 things I want to say. The first thing I want to say is I agree about I think it was Peace. I'm not sure. Somebody in the chat just said about teaching to kids versus teaching to adults, that the adults need the damn puppets too. And I agree. And I'm gonna get back to that because see y'all.
Yeah, that was Peace.
Y'all been jumping on me for the last couple of weeks about what we need to teach and what we don't need to teach. So I'm gonna come back to that comment in a minute. But the other thing I want to say is this. Remember over the summer, late summer, early fall, and people kept doing shit that I was like, but we ain't asked for that. This is we don't care about the color of the Band-Aids. We didn't ask for that. This is something that I'm saying, okay, I'm glad we're doing it, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Why it took so long for them to get black Muppets, I don't know. I mean, let's be clear. It's been just recently that they got Muppets that are people. Like they got Muppets that don't look like real people. Like Bert and Ernie, who they look like. The Count is purple. Oscar is a I don't even know what the fuck Oscar is. You know, Big Bird is a huge. So like their Muppets were depicted. They didn't depict like
they weren't people.
Right. So from that aspect.
Well, the side characters, you know what? I got confused. The side characters. I was like, the side characters, though, they were kind of people-ish, but that was a Muppet Show. Anyway, go ahead.
Right. Now, let me go back to and I'm not putting words in Peace Love's mouth. These are my words, but her comment made me think of this. When I said to y'all a couple of weeks ago about how I do feel like there's a level of responsibility. No, that's not the word. Responsibility ain't the word I want to use. No. What's the word I want to use? Because I don't want to say responsibility because I don't think it's our responsibility. But I do think that when we see where someone is just ignorant and don't fucking know, I do think there's a difference between someone who is blatantly just fucking racist and someone who has lived with privilege and doesn't understand their privilege, and until you point it out to them, they don't know about it. Right. They don't understand it. Using Meghan and McCain as an example, for you to say, well, sometimes we're just picking minorities over picking the most qualified person in the room, and for somebody that say to you, but understand that sometimes the person with the better resume isn't because
they're the best person. Yeah.
It's because they had exposure to the better opportunities simply because they were white. And right. That is the difference between, and for me, so when I think about a Sesame Street, and I'm like, I'm glad that we're going to do it and we're going to start at such a young age, but I agree, we need to bring the puppets into the high schools and to the colleges as well, because the reality is if you were born in privilege and you don't see it outside of your bubble, you don't
know that you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
People are just racist and they know they're being racist, and that's not who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the obvious racist. That's not what I'm talking about. You know, I'm talking about the people who live in their bubble, who grew up in their bubble, and they don't see it outside of their bubble. That's all I'm saying. Right, being oblivious but it's a fact. There are people who don't know outside of their. Let me tell you something. As a Black person, and I'm not saying this to brag, it is just the reality of how I grew up. I grew up middle class, Black middle class in DC, right? I went to Catholic school my whole life. I never knew the experience of going to public school. Didn't know it. Didn't grow up that way, right? It was not until I went to college that I was around people who had certain life experiences that I knew of. Now, that's not to say that there weren't people I went to school with that had experiences, but I did not know of those experiences. I didn't know of those experiences. And so it wasn't until college, and it did give me a different vantage point of people. It were things that I only heard about on TV, and now I'm literally, one of my friends I went to college with had tried to commit suicide. She literally had set herself on fire and tried to commit suicide. I had never been around somebody that felt like their life was so bad that they went to that extreme. I had friends in high school where we would get stressed out about a test. I even had a friend or two in high school that talked about it. Oh, I took a bunch of pills last night. Girl, you took some Tylenol. You just had a good ass nap. This girl literally poured gasoline on her body and set herself on fire. You understand what I'm saying?
Like the people in China?
Right. Like I went to, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until college that I had these experiences outside of my bubble. That doesn't mean that there weren't people in my bubble that had experiences. I did not know them. And so I say the same thing about privilege. Y'all, I ain't talking about the extreme races. I'm not talking about that. That ain't what I'm talking about. But there are things that people get that's a part of having privilege that they don't know that is their privilege because they've never known anything outside of their privilege. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, my parents.
That's the problem. Okay, I understand what y'all are saying, that they have access to the information, but what I'm saying is, if you don't know that you are,
why would you look up that? Why would you look that up?
Right. Why are you
something to look up?
That you don't think you're doing?
Why would you look that up? That's all I'm saying. The only reason I knew about, like, at least early on in my life, I'm talking, early teens, I knew about the hood and what life was like and all of that. It's because my parents told me, and they had a connection they introduced me to, and like show me what was happening. That's the only reason. What a first-hand experience.
Right.
Like, my father was in the military.
Well, I grew up hood adjacent. I grew up hood adjacent, so.
And I never lived.
You did what?
Anywhere hood adjacent.
I grew up hood adjacent, so I had first-hand experiences growing. I was raised by a black mom in DC, single black mother. So, and I'm the youngest of her three. So,
I'm like, if I could have ran down the path of being a professional criminal, I could have, because my father knew the people.
But I say all three of us were in DC, and all three of us had very different experiences. And there are things that are, Face, you were military. You grew up in a military household. You traveled the world before you got to DC. You saw so many different things outside of DC. You went to public school and private school.
Right. I saw the good and the bad of a lot.
Of a lot, right. Me, you grew up in DC in a single parent household, yet when your favorite aunt lived in the country. So you had that country city experience. You saw different points of view. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in with both of my parents. I never went to public school, and so again, that doesn't mean I didn't have
So you don't know the pressure of I'll see you at the monkey bars at 3:00 after school.
Oh, well, I know that.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, we fought. Don't act like we ain't. We fought.
I think the thing, and that's just it though. We all went to different types of schooling, and we all know the 3:00 experience. Because for the most part, kids are kids. I do believe that what your parents exposed you to. Because my mom, was a single mom in DC, but the best of her ability, she tried to expose us to different things. And what she wasn't able or couldn't, my aunt and uncle tried to expose the three of us to different things. Like my aunt, like people look at me because I'm crazy. The first time I ever got into a public pool, I was like 15 years old. Because my aunt, the first time I ever got into a public pool, I was 15. And that was when I was on vacation in Florida. The hotel had a pool.
What?
My aunt bought
I'm trying to figure out how that possible.
My auntie didn't want us in public pools. So she bought a pool and put a pool on her acreage. And that's where we went to pool at. That's where I spent my summers at. So that's where I got in a pool.
So you never knew that you weren't supposed to get in the 3 foot? You never got the experience, and you never get in the 3 foot in on a public pool? You always go on to the other side?
And like growing up in DC, and I remember riding the bus by like Banneker Pool. I have never in my life stepped foot on Banneker Pool. Never.
Now I did. I would go to Fort Lincoln. We swam in Fort Lincoln Pool and Langdon. That was my side of DC. That was my side of DC.
South Capitol, son. I swam for this. I swam nationally for the city of Washington D.C.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm learning new stuff. I
never knew that.
I didn't even know you could swim.
I swam for the city.
Like my high school had a public pool in my high school.
Matter of fact, I swam against public schools before I got to public school.
and that is valid, but and this is what I'm saying. I think the point that your point is valid to say. I'm tired of trying to educate people who throw up flawed. Because she made another comment about people who say, "Oh well, black people aren't this and da da da." That's somebody who's not trying to learn. To debate, and that's what I'm saying. There's a difference. Someone who is sincerely trying to have a conversation because they're trying to understand. That's different from someone who just wants to prove that they're right and throw a bunch of statistics that are flawed. Those are two different people. And no, I'm not interested in educating a person who's already made up their mind, because that person's already made up their mind.
Right. Because I've had they're friends now, but formerly they were coworkers and they didn't know. They didn't know what they didn't know. Some,
right. I mean, I remember being
some decided their point of view, their way of life was how they're going to live. Others, who are now my friends now, educated themselves. I didn't teach them.
Right.
They educated themselves. We hung out, and I guess I did teach them in a way that we were just hanging out, but it wasn't like we were hanging out for me to educate them on Black life. We were just friends hanging out. They educated themselves.
In high school, I had friends in high school who were not allowed to come to my house because I lived in DC. I went to high school in Maryland. And because I lived in DC, they were not allowed to come to my house because all that was on the news about DC during that time period was
people were dying. People getting shot every day.
That's
every day.
And
every
so
day.
They were not allowed to bring their lily white asses down to my house. And the one time that they came and they snuck into DC to my house, they were like, I mean, you would think I lived in the White House. They were like, oh my gosh, because all they had seen and learned about DC
project
was you're gonna be ducking running in the house, is crack infested. I'm sure they ran.
I mean, it was.
Well, there were absolutely parts of DC that was like that. But again, that was the idea. And so what I say is, and this were people who lived 10, 15, 20 minutes from the city. It ain't like they lived on the other side of the country.
There was in Silver Spring.
You know where I went to high school, child. You know where they live.
I mean, but it's so true though. It is people's perceptions on things, and a lot of times people don't want to go any further than their perception.
Personally, yes, Miss Honey. Yes, I have. I've had actually the entire spectrum, very positive and very negative. Negative being my negative police experience came when I was hanging around with other motherfuckers. Sorry, excuse my language. Me personally, like just one-on-one, me and the cops. I mean, it started off negative. I can admit that. Hey, boy, what you doing around here? Type of interaction, I guess because it was a military town and I was actually, still in the service, it was kind of like well, don't walk around here no more, boy. And, he didn't offer me a ride back to civilization, but I'm just saying. Like I've had both. And, I know the deal. I knew the score. Trust me, I was educated on what I was and, how I was viewed in this country as a Black man, period. I never, tried to be like, well, I grew up this way and I knew this and I knew that. Nah, I know that doesn't matter when you get pulled over. Mm-hmm. So I've had both, positive and negative. Yeah. I just know that I get off mostly just by, being neutral. Not being argumentative, but not being passive. I'm just gonna, just do what you tell me. Just kind of common sense wise.
Exactly. And somebody said about Sharon Osbourne. No, she was not trying to learn. She was trying to prove that she wasn't a racist. Had she gone to Cheryl Underwood privately in the dressing room before the show and said, Cheryl, all I was doing was defending my friend. I'm not understanding how that's translating into me being a racist. I need
help me out. Help me understand where you coming from.
That perspective, because at the end of the day, I could see where she would be confused. But no, in that moment, she was not trying to learn. She
had the whole audacity of you.
Right. And then for her to have, you don't get to cry, bitch. What? Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. That took me back. That was about to take me back.
And Mink, that would call for what? 2 punches to the throat? Bow, bow.
3. I'm gonna say 3.
3. All right. So
one for telling me how I should and shouldn't feel because my feelings are valid.
Right.
Right. We discussed this with the hair conversation.
Mm-hmm. You get one for like trying to just in general tell me what to do. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm gonna cry if I want to. And 3, you just get one for good measure for doing it on TV, so you won't ever do it again.
I can cry if I want to, cry if I want to, cry if I. I'm
I
sorry.
don't be fake singing. I mean, hold on.
Right. It happens.
I see what you're saying, DC, but again, as somebody who's a lifelong learner, and I don't think that I'm ever at a point where I know everything, and I don't feel like I'm ever at a point where I can't be taught something new. Right. I just can't ascribe to that mindset that says that, you know, when that it feels like I'm not saying every person deserves that from you. I'm not saying every person is sincere in that mindset. But what I am saying is that there are people who genuinely don't get it.
But this is the thing about it. Let's take it from this perspective. If everybody around me is a racist, that's all I see, that's all I ever equate with, that's all I'm ever around, and I never hear a different opinion, then of course I'm going to think the way I feel and what I do is okay, and that's the popular opinion. So, you know, I mean, and the thing about it is, keep in mind, Sharon Osbourne, is she from here? Isn't she British?
Right. Yeah, she's from Great Britain. Yeah, she's British.
Yeah, so and they view their leaders, regardless of their leaders' powers or not, differently than what we do.
Miss Honey, just so you know, DC is not the North. We still in the South. We below the Mason-Dixon line. Just to let you know, this is still the South. I mean, it's about as north as you can get without being the North.
But we're the most northern southern state,
right?
Oh, city, because you know.
But trust me when I tell you, people up in New York will remind us that we are not northern. Please know that. Yeah. Philadelphia will remind us.
Delaware will remind us. We ain't got
yeah, people in Delaware will remind us. You're right.
We are not. This is the South, and just to quantify that, I grew up East Coast, West Coast, South, North, everywhere in between. Coming back to DC, I was in grade school. Like I grew up. Like my formative years was elsewhere. So. There you go. So my you know,
yeah,
I have a broad perspective. I haven't met a personality that I haven't met yet before in my life. Yeah.
Facts. Facts. Okay, I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna wrap it up and then we're gonna end on some fun stuff that y'all, you know, we're gonna lighten the mood a little bit. Y'all know we do a little this and a little that. We've actually gotten through almost a whole show and Mink ain't cuss nobody out. I think.
So hold on. If she didn't cuss somebody out, did we really have a show?
I know, right?
I'm just trying to figure this out. If we got through a whole show of Meghan cussing nobody out, did we really have a show?
I'm trying to be good. In observance of Palm Sunday, I wore my purple.
All right now.
But what does it say though?
It says, "Thou shalt not try me." Hood, move 24/7.
I have one of those shirts too, Mink. I have a black and white one. It says mine is black and white, but it says the same thing. Oh, we could be twinsies. Okay.
I got my scripture on. You know,
if you need me to make some more, we can make some more of those. I'm sorry, I just throwing it out there.
You know, I do have a shirt that I want to have made. But yeah,
let us know. Trust me, our last live stream, we was literally making hats in the middle of DJing. I was upstairs making hats when we was DJing. Straight up.
Well, you gotta drop the information. We gotta put some stuff together and have some people buy some merch. Right. So last but not least, before we switch the topic, I hear what you're saying, DC. And yes, I'm an educator, and so I understand what you're saying that I'm uniquely positioned, but I just feel like even if I weren't an educator, I'm a lifelong learner. Like I don't feel like I don't know everything about everything. And I understand that my life experiences either give me insight or limit my insight based on. And so I'm always to hearing another perspective on something and hearing what other people have to say. And in that process, I learn. But I understand what you're saying, because up here you said you don't mind helping people along. So that's fine. That's cool. And we good. But DC, because you teach me.
I only educate people that ask.
DC, I'm not educated all the time. DC is my legal correspondent. If y'all not over here on a regular basis, whenever we got legal questions, DC is the legal correspondent. And I learned a lot of stuff because I thought I knew some shit. but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I look at. I took 2 semesters of law in high school, and that was about it. I don't know nothing. I know I don't know nothing,
and I still don't know shit. So what that tell you?
Anyway, I don't know a damn thing. So
I mean, well, I was poli-sci / pre-law, but anyway. All right. So last but not least, let's get into some fun stuff.
Yay!
Today at I think 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, we got a versus going down. We got a Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Whoo! Earth, Wind, and Fire.
You got Earth, Wind, and Fire in that one?
Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm sorry, I got Earth, Wind, and Fire. As much as I like the Isleys, I party so hard to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Listen.
Matter of fact, most of the parties, when I put on Earth, Wind, and Fire, I don't care what song it is.
I stand up for Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And they have a song titled September.
They do.
Which is my birthday month.
I know.
Dedicated to me and all my Virgo brethren and sisters. That's all I'm saying. So
I believe it's tonight. Hold on. Somebody fact check me. I'm hold on. Let me go to the versus Instagram. But I thought it was tonight. And then there's another one on April the 8th. We're gonna talk about that one in a minute. I could have sworn that was tonight.
Yo, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They party.
Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of my dad's favorite bands, and so therefore, by default, it's Earth, Wind, and Fire for me.
I guess I'm
wrong, y'all. I'm wrong. It's Easter Sunday. My bad. It's next.
All right, Big Daddy. That's what's up. Virgo.
My bad. It's Easter Sunday. We're gonna get the Earth, Wind, and Fire on Easter. Listen, I know I got so many damn Virgos in my life. I just can't with y'all. I cannot.
What? It is what it is.
Listen,
we're everybody's favorite people.
No, you're not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Come on.
I can't work with one of y'all. I know what y'all like. So.
Right. Well,
it's gonna be a falsetto palooza. I know that's right. So it's next Sunday, y'all. My bad. I was wrong. It is next Sunday. Easter Sunday. After you had your Easter dinner with your people, you can turn on, go over to the good old verses and check it out. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm not quite sure.
If you leave it up to me, I'll go live right now and play all Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I have at least
45 minutes. Stop playing.
Earth, Wind, and Fire too.
If I can't get me some good old Philip Bailey falsetto, though, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. If I can't get some Philip Bailey falsetto.
Thank you, Miss Honey. Thank you.
Miss Honey. Don't even do it.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
No.
You know what? People dropping out of the sky talking about some Virgos. Lord, see how y'all Virgos are?
What? I'll just, wait, hey, Lady Steph. Hey, you know what? Virgos. Where is that?
Listen, that's what I need in my life. I need some Verdine throwing the hair back. I need it. I need it in my life. I need it.
That's how you feel. That's how you feel, DC. We just going to throw your head back in laughter at all of it. You know what? I tell you what. The next happy hour. The next ReallyB happy hour that we do on purpose.
Kansas
on purpose. I'm gonna play Earth, Wind, and Fire for the first 15 minutes just because I can.
That's one song. That's only one song though.
Right, that's only one song. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I mean,
you play your head to the sky. I mean, that's 15 minutes right there.
No. I got it. I'm a professional DJ. We can play many a song, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
But in 15 minutes. So that's the verses we got. We have Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'm here for the Isley Brothers too. Don't get me wrong, but I just think, and Isley Brothers got some hits. Now it's gonna be some moments. It's definitely gonna be a baby making night. It's gonna be a baby making night with them Isley Brothers hits are flowing through, right? It's gonna be some baby making moments, okay?
And this is what that Bama say. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, y'all think they're gonna edit out? If they do, y'all think they're gonna play any of the R. Kelly with songs?
Hell no. Nah. Hell no. Nah.
I'm just saying.
Hey, look, I was over Don Juan Pablo's house on because there's a crafting tutorial that goes over there on Thursdays.
Oh, a crafting tutorial?
We was over there DJing, playing music for the people that came over to learn.
What
I was like, yo, it was. I had a random. I asked a random, hey, how we feel about R. Kelly right now? They was like, nah. And there's people that I know that stepped a lot
in the name of love
and everything. They was like, nah, can't do it. We not doing it. All right, cool. Now moved on.
I mean, listen. All of us sang "I Believe I Can Fly" at some level of ceremony in our childhood. We all did. That don't mean we want to hear it now. Of course you didn't, Mink. Of course you didn't.
When did that song came out? I'm like,
Mink, we are in the same age group.
When did that song come out? That song came out 1998. I wasn't in school.
Wow.
You didn't attend nothing where people were singing "I Believe I Can Fly." Oh hell no. Anyway, moving on. Y'all see how young I am? I was just graduating from middle school in 1998.
Girl, let me start that lie.
Wait, you see my face?
Let me start that lie. You might have been teaching some people who had just graduated from elementary school in 98.
Wait. Hey, Mink, let me change my position. Really?
Maybe I remember a graduation ceremony I attended.
I haven't said this phrase in a long time, but for real, really, bitch.
Anyway, moving on. Then we have a versus on May the 8th. We have SWV versus Escape. Oh, what? Why, Mink? Why?
Just watching the whole Escape, we gonna come together for a concert, little show they did. Yeah, that show was about an hour and a half long. We're gonna see. Bobby Brown got a better chance of going full tour with no audition. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
SWV versus Escape.
They're going on tour together. They're doing a tour together.
No, they're doing a versus.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think how many times I've thought or even was like, ooh, this will go good right here. And it was an Escape song.
I like them. Like, I like both of them. Like, I honestly like both of them.
I like both of them, but I feel like Escape has more hits.
They have. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But in my mind, when I'm behind the stand, and I'm like, what song will go good right here? I
just feel like
I don't know how many times Escape has ever come to my mind. Like maybe once when I was doing slow jams. Once or twice I was playing slow jams, but doing the middle of a party, everybody's having a good time. It's always been SWV.
I think Escape, that song is the remix of Weak.
I mean, what was that? Love Will Be Right Here.
Love will be right.
Like remixes of that.
They
remixed it with Michael Jackson. Yeah, that's SWV.
PYT, yeah.
That's SWV song. Which
I feel like if you had the remixes, then SWV got it.
Matter of fact, I just played that last Saturday doing a live stream. Maybe Don Pablo played it when on his set. I'm just saying.
Now, if they're gonna be singing live, I mean,
none of them on the verses.
None of them got none on Coco. I'm just saying.
All right, Tigo, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't dig out SW. I don't dig out Escape songs unless it's a slow jam session. And Escape had a couple of songs that that was baby making ish. Outside of that, nah.
Yeah, Like honestly, that versus is probably gonna be about 45 minutes long for real.
No, that versus is gonna be 3 hours long. One is gonna be long because they're gonna be an hour late. Let's start from the beginning and work our way back. So that's number one. Number two is gonna be long because they're gonna talk in between each song because they're gonna be stretching it out.
Hold on, I just want to point out that Proximus Honey, because she's still arguing for Virgos.
She really is. She's still talking
about Virgos. That's what's up. I mean, I can't come to the show.
No, I'm
just saying.
Dedicated to this Virgo moment, okay?
Capricorn start the year and we end the year. The rest of y'all just something that happened in between. So let's just move on from there. Okay. That's good.
Listen, y'all know I just love my Cancer season. Just me and my Cancer.
Man, you don't have your bonnet. You have your bonnet of salvation on. Can't nobody hear you. Can't nobody hear you. Can't nobody hear you. Put your bonnet on.
I need my bonnet of salvation now.
Can't nobody hear you. Stop playing.
But yeah, I know. I mean, when you think about SWV, of course you got the hits. Weak, Rain, Downtown, the Human Nature remix, Right Here, whatever. We got that, right? Then you flip over to Escape, and I feel like again, now when we talk about better singers, we talking about all of that. Now you said they're supposed to go on tour together. Y'all think this is like an opening to like a tour with them?
Yeah, I have heard something had popped up, but they were from somebody has how Facebook say, "Are you?" One of my friends said they were interested in it. They were supposed to be going on tour, and they were like, "I'm getting my tickets," and I was like, "Oh,
well, who the hell is planning tours?" Like, I'm sorry, excuse me. There's still this thing floating around. I know people are getting vaccines and stuff, but it is still floating around. We do not have herd immunity. So if they planning a tour, it better be for later on in this year. It better not be no time soon, because who the hell is doing that? Okay.
Because because I have some concerts that I want to go see. Bruno Mars is one of them, but yeah.
Well, I'm still mad that I didn't get to go see Janet Jackson last summer, and I had my tickets and I had good seats, and I'm still in my feelings about it. Okay.
She did have her concert.
No, it was canceled because of COVID.
Oh no! I thought you were saying like you missed it.
You didn't get a refund
because she canceled. They had to cancel the tour.
You didn't get a refund?
Yeah, I got my money back. I don't want my money back. I want to go to the show.
See Janet?
Yes.
Yo, Slim, I went to a Janet.
Yo, I've seen Janet Jackson enough time. Yeah, yes.
When she came here for that whatever that tour was, when she was strapping dudes up to her on stage.
That was the Velvet Road.
Yeah. I was there at what was it at the time? MCI Center? I think it was the MCI Center at that time.
Me too, little baby. Voyage to Atlantis is my shit.
Yeah. Come back to me. I've only seen Janet like the HBO things of Janet. Like I've never been to Janet.
Live is spectacular. I can give it to Janet. She can put on a goddamn.
She put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Janet Jackson is a great entertainer. I will never take that away from her. I'm pretty sure her show is lit from the time the lights go down to the lights come back up. It's probably, a full 100% show. I just never in the one.
Colin Powell was at the show I was at.
Who?
Colin Powell was at the show I was at.
Who that?
Colin Powell. Colin
Powell. Oh, okay. I was thinking of an artist. I was like, Colin Powell.
No, not all of them. Like it was like the White House staff was like in the front row with the concert I was at.
I ain't mad about it.
And I had flow seats. I was like, oh, is that who the back of my head I was looking at, trying to get that man to sit down so I can see?
He wanted them, it was.
No, that's what everybody was like. I was like, hey, get that old dude blocking my view.
Oh man, hey, sit
right. I swear to God, that's how I was. I was like, hey, man, get that old dude. Sit. Call it power. I swear to.
Somebody get your grandpa.
I lied to you not. He was in my way.
He was in my way.
I was trying to see Johnny had leather pants on, man.
I'm not doing this with y'all.
I went to the theater to see the movie Panther. The 1996 whatever Panther with Kadeem Hardison.
Yeah.
In front of me was Dick Gregory.
Wow. Dick Gregory lived in Southwest DC.
Wait, The old school Dick Gregory?
Dick Gregory's wife.
Like
Dick Gregory used to come to our school, the school I used to teach at that Faith went to. He used to come there all the time, and he lived in the area. And there was a time where the teachers were protesting about something, and he was out there with us protesting. He came down there and he walked the picket line with us. Yep.
Well, you know, it's probably out of habit.
No, I met Dick Gregory a few times when I worked there. Mm-hmm.
It was just funny watching Dick Gregory watch Dick Gregory in the movie. Like he was in the movie and just sitting there with him and watching it. It was kind of interesting. It's like Derrick Jackson on Derrick Jackson.
Yeah, I'm so bad at you right now, yeah.
And on that note, we are getting ready to get up out of here.
Are we? There's no other topic. We done.
We can't top that. We can't top that. I want to thank everybody for being here, you guys. Please make sure you are checking out my mod has been dropping that wonderful Avon link. So y'all please make sure y'all go over there and get y'all Avon ready, summer ready, get your skin so soft and all that other good stuff that you need to check out. Y'all make sure y'all are getting that over there. If you have not hit the like button while you were here, please go on and hit that thumbs up.
Hit the like button.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
And if you are not
I'm trying to be aggressive like me. Hit the like button.
If you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and get all the notifications. I want to thank everybody who was here. We had a good time, good conversation as always. Any final words from anybody?
Me.
I was gonna say, if y'all see Derrick, aka Dirty Community Dick Jackson, out in them streets, for those who want to know what DCD stood for, that's what this stands for. Out in them streets. Woo! Y'all better run, girl. He hot. He having a hot boy summer for a whole nother reason.
I knew it. I knew she had something. Come on, yeah. Come on, girl. Keep it going.
I ain't got nothing else for you. Just stay away and spray away from the DCDs of the world.
Okay. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming through.
All right.
Keita Capricorn said, I love Mink. We love her too, child.
I know.